create this wet, wavy kind of look, but on my hair, which it can be difficult because, you know, as you can see, I have a lot of it. And it has no particular natural shape. So to achieve this type of style, which basically tricks the eye into thinking that the hair is still wet when it's actually dry and styled, it can be very difficult. But I finally figured out how to do it, and it's super easy. So let's start from the beginning. Okay, the first thing I do, as anytime that I use a hot tool on my hair, is to make sure that it's completely dry. And I'm gonna brush out any tangles or any knots. Because I'm gonna use a clamp, I find that the easiest way for me to style my hair with it is to divide my head into like horizontal chunks of hair, not like vertical like I usually do. So I'm gonna take the bottom, and this is the one that I got. It's from Revlon. I love it. It heats up very fast. So I'm just gonna clamp it, wait a couple of seconds, and then do the next wave. I try not to like stretch the hair, but rather I crunch it a little bit while it's still hot. One more time. And in the end, I'm gonna like clamp whatever is left. If your hand gets tired, because basically you're not only like holding the hot tool, but you're also pressuring with your fingers so the clamp closes, you can just put this holder right here. I think it's mainly to store it, but I use it to help myself because sometimes my arms get tired. So that way I'm just holding the weight of the clamp rather than, you know, holding and pressuring with my fingers. You know, that gets exhausting. You see, this is how it looks like before you brush it out. After, when they're all cold, I'm gonna brush them out and they're gonna look way more natural and prettier. This upper side of the head can be a little tricky, so what I do is that, again, I divide my hair in horizontal parts so that I can really see, you know, I can style up until the roots. I take the hair that is in the back of my head, I take it forward so that I can see what I'm doing, and clamp it horizontally. You have to try to put, you know, the clamp as close to your scalp as possible, but don't touch it, okay? Like for example, if I want to touch my head, look, I will have to move all this way. Okay, so I'm kind of like a couple of centimeters, maybe 1 inch away from my actual scalp. And if it leaves a mark, I mean, in my case, it's not leaving a mark, as you can see, but if it does, you just have to turn your clamp the other way, because what leaves a mark is this edge right here, this straight edge. I find that this one from Revlon does not leave marks, but when it does, I just turn it around and I clamp it like this. You see? Where the hair is gonna fall on this side, not against the edge of the clamp. And again, you can see I am not leaving the hair tense like this. I let it rest so that, because this part is still hot. So if you manipulate your hair after you style it when it's still hot, you're gonna kind of like lose the styling that you just did. Maybe that's what you want, but it's not what I want right now. So I'm trying to help the waves to settle into the shape by letting them cool off and not manipulate or, you know, tense the hair when it's still warm. And in the ends, again, you see, I put them for just a little bit, just enough to give them the shape. For these frontal sections, I'm gonna show you how to turn the tool so that it doesn't leave any marks. So you see, I turn it and I'm gonna clamp it so that the hair now is falling, you see, and there's no like sharp edge, and that way it does, like, you see, a wave with no mark. I spend a little bit more time on these sections because usually it's the part of the hair that I'm touching the most. And you can go back to, you know, the waves that you see that they are not looking as you want. For example, this one wasn't looking well marked as I like them to be, so I just came back. Okay, after the hair cooled off, I'm gonna start brushing the ends and moving towards the top of my head. What I'm doing is I'm kind of breaking the chunks of hair that I just styled to help the hair fall into a more flexible shape. I'm gonna shake the top of my head. And you know, you could leave it like that and put hairspray, but you know, we're going for a wet look. So to make it look wet, I'm gonna use my Vane treatment oil. Basically any hair oil that you like, you can use it to make your hair look wet. I prefer this Vane oil because it's kind of like dry. It's not very thick, so I prefer that feeling. I start with very generously at the ends of my hair, and then I'm gonna start to apply it in the middle like this. The oil, I feel that it doesn't wet the hair, but the creams or using mousse will make the hair wet, so it can ruin the shape a little bit. But that's how my hair reacts to creams and mousse. And to finish it off, I'm gonna use my favorite hairspray. This one is by John Frieda. It's called what? Freeze Ease. I always want to say freeze at ease. I'm making sure, as you can see, that I'm putting the hairspray all over the hair. I open the hair up, I move it, so I make sure that I'm putting the hairspray everywhere. And there we go, guys. This is how I do my wet summer waves. I like how it turned out. I mean, I have a lot of hair, so I look like a lion. But on people that have less hair, it's gonna look a little bit more polished. But I love how it looks. I think that is very appropriate for summer. The great thing is that because we're using, you know, hair oil, we are at the same time treating our hair. So after you're done with this hairstyle, you're gonna see that your hair is gonna feel super soft. So it is kind of like a hairstyle that does double duty. Not only looks good, it's also treating your hair, so you're gonna end up with healthier hair at the end of you wearing this hairstyle. So I hope that you guys like it. As always, if you have any comments, please leave them down below. Usually on social media, I'm at Vane Barbie. And if you like this video, please give it a like. I will see you on a next one. Have a beautiful hot summer. Mwah! Bye-bye!